I heard your bitch, she got that water. Splash, drip, drip, woo, splash. Ay. Slippery, whoa, excuse me, please me, please. I'm up, believe me, get beat, cause I'm flexing Rarries. You can bet on me. Hey, all set. Hey, slippery, she numbing me, that tongue on me. Honest.
Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Ryan's Falcons going up against Roethlisberger's Steelers. So let's get you up to the Steel City. Standing by in Pittsburgh, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Atlanta Falcons and the Pittsburgh Steelers. They'll come out in the pistol. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. In 12 regular season games this last year for Bell, averaging over 150 yards from scrimmage. First two games in the playoffs were great, but, you know, getting injured in the final game probably leaves a bad taste in his mouth.
Leaves a bad taste, gives him fuel for the next season, though, because, remember, for the last few years, he hasn't been able to play a full season for various reasons. Now, going into next year, imagine those numbers over a 16-game season, and heading into the playoffs, Le'Veon Bell can set new records.
23 yards on the play. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. These short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You can
trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And some space here. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. After the interception, here's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. Over 1,400 yards last year for Jones, just 6 touchdowns, but, you know, of course he had the big 300-yard game. However, when he was blanketed with coverage, he always opens things up for other guys, doesn't he?
He does, and that's what's benefited Atlanta's offense. Other guys were able to step up. In 2016, Mohamed Sanu stepped up and had his best year as a pro. Austin Hooper, as a young tight end, really developed down the stretch. And Taylor Gabriel, who had come over as a free agent from Cleveland, he really flourished, actually led the team in touchdown catches. But there's only one Julio Jones, and you want to get the ball to him as much as possible.
Gun!
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. And a man, as we look at the starters now, a man who really has earned us talking about him in the booth, Julio Jones.
He's a 1,000-yard receiver each and every year. So sleek, so wonderful. I call him Secretariat.
And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Ready, 54, Sam!
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And a look at the Steelers' defensive unit.
Cameron Hayward is a defensive lineman, but many of us, especially guys in my vintage, remember his father, Craig Ironhead Hayward, who was a running back. I think Cameron decided he'd rather hit people than be hit.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Tevin Coleman from 3 yards out, and the Falcons have taken the early lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And the Steelers set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
Thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part and forget the bad.
I like that even better. When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield, a really nice pickup. Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Sammy Coates, the intended target there, and now it's second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Hayward Bay has it over the middle. That one goes for 24 yards. Back with Charles. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. And you see zone defense, and you know you got a drag route on it.
He's got his tight end. That's James. Touchdown, Steelers. Jesse James from 3 yards out. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get...
He's got a man, complete. A big play there, Ryan to Jones, 41 yards. And I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did.
And it certainly appears like a 50-50 ball, right? We always talk about that when both sides have a chance to get it, the receiver or the guy covering him. But I think the odds actually are in favor of the offense. They can see the ball coming oftentimes before the defender can get his head around.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 32 yards. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. That's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They think their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard. Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
30. Jack 16. Here we go.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Finding time. And he's got Rodgers. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Brown finishing 2016 with over 1,200 yards, 106 receptions. Now for him, you know, people were expecting maybe some bigger numbers, Charles. What did you make of Antonio Brown's season?
Well, what I made of it is that he started to get more help along the way. Jesse James developed at tight end. Once Le'Veon Bell got into the lineup, he started to catch passes out of the backfield and ate up a few numbers as well. So Big Ben had more targets to throw it to. That should help Antonio Brown going forward in 2017, because he'll still be the primary guy. But when you get help, well, you can make bigger plays downfield.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. That's complete, right around the 8. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And able to find Green. It's a gain of 5, and the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these situations, and they feel like maybe they're just the better team, and they want to go ahead and prove it conclusively.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And from the 3 now, it's 2nd and goal. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Calling a gain of 2 as they're knocking on the door now. 3rd and goal. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. 3rd and goal now. The defense, and he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. It's the fullback taking it in. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. They go to the big man, 2nd time he gets it done.
Almost as if they were feeling like he was establishing a rhythm. Give it to him again and again, and how about the end result? Finishes it off in the end zone.
Touchdown, great run, and the score. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Second and 10 now. Ryan. He's going to let it go again. And that's caught inside the 35. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 41 yards.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all of that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On second down, Ryan. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They run. Devontae Freeman. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons have broken our tie. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. And he pulls it in. And really just a heck of a catch. That's a really good receiver making a nice play.
And against a really good defensive back. Right there together and over the top, the receiver wins the battle.
Let's go back.
On second down, Roethlisberger. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Eli Rogers, the intended receiver, and it's third down. Two receivers left, one to the right. On third down, Roethlisberger. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Jack 16.
Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is incomplete. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. And a good job here by the Falcons, their hands team, able to recover it. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special.
That's caught inside the 20. And they get 28 yards on that one. And the Falcons are going to get a first. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you're probably going to have to make some...
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Falcons will extend their lead. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10.
Now Bell hit. He lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A pickup there of 37. And the Falcons are going to have a 1st and goal.
It's bad enough watching all the highlight reels, watching guys in warm-ups, going up and making these incredible one-handed acrobatic catches. But when it happens...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They come out here in the eye, and he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan taking it in, and the Falcons capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6.
And the sneak works on 2nd and goal. They didn't wait until it was 4th down to try and get him across.
No, and I think if you're the QB, you like these plays, don't you? I mean, you want to hand it off sometimes, but also prove that you can get it in there as well.
Yeah, it makes you really part of the gang, doesn't it? It makes you part of the crew, and it really bonds you with those big offensive linemen because then you get to celebrate with the big fellas.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. 23 yards on the play.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell from 3 yards out. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover it? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And a good job here by the Falcons, their hands team, able to recover it. I know they're down, but starting the third quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen. Steal a possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
He's going to air one out. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And his kick is right through. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back to our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's third down.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks, but you got to slow them down.
There's the drive will continue. Now it's Roethlisberger. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Adrian Claiborne in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
So third down, and the Falcons going with a dime. 6 defensive backs. Here's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. Marcus Wheaton was the one he was looking for. And now it's fourth down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Here we go on fourth down with Roethlisberger. He's got time. Now he steps away. Now he'll let it go deep over the middle. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Paul Warlow. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Second and 10 now. Ryan. He's going to take another shot here. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there. Ryan to Jones. 47 yards.
I really don't think that Julio Jones could be happier right now. Plenty of catch opportunities in this game. He's converted them, and his team's winning.
And Matt Ryan's happy, too, to have Julio Jones on the other side of these.
Yeah, a lot of times we talk about breaking teams down, and oftentimes just through a running game. These two, they can break a team down through the air.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Hey, check.
To throw again is Ryan. That's caught at the 3. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons will extend their lead. To throw for is Ryan. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Flushed out right. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker. Complete. They get 16 out of that. They'll still need to convert on 3rd. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really, at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now, as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
It's a pickup of 17 there. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Over the middle, it's caught by Rodgers. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. And now they're in the hurry-up.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions.
And it's hauled in by Rodgers for a Steeler touchdown. Eli Rodgers, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. 6 yards to go here on second down. On second down, here's Ryan. Connects with Sanu right side. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange.
Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Julio Jones high in the air to bring it in. And the Falcons continue to pour it on. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Tyson Jackson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Roethlisberger. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. It's Desmond Trufant. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many, because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. But they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the posts. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on. Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs?
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic. Fake it. Mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
Did the same. It smells terrible.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level play.
They'll go again with Bell. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there? You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On second down, here's Roethlisberger, surveying the field, forced out to his left. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now Roethlisberger to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Roethlisberger, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation.